Don't judge me. Okay, you can judge me a little.
But see, if you would come right here and do something cute, that'd be a great intro. That is absolutely perfect. Yeah, that was perfect.
Hello new friends, hello old friends, and welcome to my channel. For those who don't know, my name is May, you should subscribe, and Halloween is coming very quickly. So, in honor of Halloween, I would like to talk to you about loser candy. Hear me out. We all know the loser candy. It's the Smarties and these things, whatever these things are. The stuff that gets left at the bottom of the take one trays, or the ones that end up being thrown away because nobody wants them. Okay, I feel like maybe these candies just got a bad rep. Maybe they're not necessarily as horrible as everyone makes them out to be. But I think it's the way people describe them. Like, black licorice. I asked people to describe the taste of black licorice, and every single one of them said bitter. And it's not that that's not true, but it's not the only note, you know? And these are a fascinating case. I'll get to those in a minute. I didn't really think all of this through before I hit record, so give me a minute. Dig through the bag of loser candy. Did anyone else see that Gravity Falls episode, Summerween? That's where I got the loser candy thing from. So, let me just dig through here and make sure I got one of everything. Okay, so, loser candy. The candy that I'm going to start with is Smarties. These are Smarties. They're kind of like M&Ms, but they're not as round. You'll see what I mean in a minute. So, it's like an M&M, but it's not as it's like a little flat M&M. You know? And it's chocolate with a candy coating. If you hold on to these long enough, the color will leak and stain your hands. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That sounds like my roommate kind of switches laundry. I'm going to keep going until I can hear it. So yes, Smarties, Canadian Smarties, British Smarties, actual Smarties are candy-coated chocolate things. I kind of feel like the candy shell on these is a little softer than an M&M. I haven't actually done a Smarties to M&M's direct comparison, so maybe I'll do that for a video another day. There it goes. Can you hear it? Yeah, it's literally shaking the room. Okay, so I'm gonna take a little break. Maybe my stomach will shut the hell up. And I will be back to discuss rockets. I don't remember where I was. I remember that I finished the Smarties. So, like I said, they're flatter M&Ms, and they do in fact melt in your hands. sorry, I saw this and got distracted. Yeah, the thing with Smarties is that if you hold on to them for too long, the dye melts into your hand, so that's the biggest difference between them and M&M's. Next, I shall talk about rockets. They're called rockets. I don't know why you don't just call them rockets. Everywhere but America, these are rockets, right? Or Ramune tablets? Because here's the thing about rockets, is that when people describe them, they use words like chalky and bland, and to be fair, they are kind of chalky and rather bland. But they do have different flavors. It's a really subtle fruit flavor. I'm pretty sure there's... I'm pretty sure there are different flavors, yeah, because that one was more sour than the other one. It's really subtle. And these are chalky when you chew them. But if you just let it melt, it takes a little while. It's not like a super melty ramen tablet. But it is. It's like a nice, melty, sugary... They don't fizz, necessarily. But it's just nice and... I'm chewing it for the sake of time. But yeah, I like sucking on these because they're like little ramune things. My final word on rockets is that you should try them again. And in your head, instead of thinking chalky and oversweet or chalky and sour, try melty and fruity. I'm just saying. Okay. Next, I'm going for the molasses chews. These ones. These things that look like they're supposed to be caramel. And no one likes them because they're not caramel. And I fully understand, if you eat one of these expecting caramel, you are going to be disappointed. These are actually molasses, which is a sugar byproduct. I think that's how you describe that. It's not the most appetizing. These ones looked like they got maybe a little melted. But yeah, it's more like a fudge than a caramel. It's very earthy and like a dark brown sugar, earthy sweetness. Most certainly not a caramel. So that's why people don't like these, because they mistake it for caramel. If you try it knowing that it's a molasses chew, it's not supposed to be super duper caramel stretchy because it's more like a fudge texture. So yes, if you were one of the millions of people who have taken a bite of this thinking it was supposed to be caramel, maybe try it again with the understanding that, first of all, it's not caramel, and that will help your brain appreciate the dark and earthy flavor that this has. It's like Okinawan brown sugar. It's that kind of earthy, sweet. It's not the same, but it's that kind of flavor profile. So, once you understand these sweets, you very well may love them. They're one of my favorites now. There's nothing really on it that says Halloween Kiss. I don't know. Maybe it's just this brand. I've never seen anything on it that would say molasses chew. Unless made by, you say, made by, but not what it is. So yeah. That's my final say on these. I love them to pieces now that I understand they're not caramel. The texture is more like fudge, and the flavor is one-to-one comparison, I would say, Okinawan brown sugar sweets. It's not the same. This is not Okinawan brown sugar, but that deep, sweet earthiness is the same. That was really good. What to do next? This is not Halloween candy, except that it kind of is. Back in Scarborough, we all know how proud I am to be from Scarborough. The population at the time in that neighborhood was predominantly Asian. We celebrated Lunar New Year in my elementary school. So naturally for Halloween, we would get sweets from other places in the world, which I always thought was the greatest thing ever. These always threw me though, because they are how do I describe these? They're a creamy, chewy candy. I think they're from China? Shanghai, China. Okay, yeah. So these are from China. And they are so delicious. They got little bunnies on them. And the thing that always threw me when I was a kid is that you unwrap it, and then there's this secondary wrapper. And I used to drive myself insane trying to get this wrapper off. It doesn't come off. It's rice paper. You eat it. The way you can tell if it's rice paper or wax paper is to take a little piece, put it on your tongue. Rice paper will melt. Wax paper will not. Now that I know that, these are one of my favorite candies. I wouldn't be able to explain it to the kids in my neighborhood, and I feel like if they don't already know, then this would drive them crazy like me and they'd end up throwing it out. And it makes me so sad because I want to share this, but I need to share that piece of information as well. Anyway, these are delicious. The outside, the rice paper, like, melts off and gets all, like, slimy, but in a good way. And then, of course, the longer you suck it, the softer it gets. And it turns into, like, a sticky, almost non-Newtonian, but, like, melts really, really slowly. I love these. They're, like, milk flavored. So yeah, I forgot how chewy these were. But they're creamy and they're milk flavored, like cream flavored. They, they're very much like a hard candy, and then they soften the more you... They're hard to explain, but they're very sticky and chewy. And you can understand why I would love to share these, but can't. Yeah, I don't really have a whole lot else to say about these. These were the first product that I learned you could eat rice paper, and it's got a lot of nostalgia for me. Yeah. This is more of a me thing than a loser candy thing. I want to rep my White Rabbit candies. This time of year I get all the nostalgic for them, so. Again, it's not loser candy, but it is candy that would get pushed aside or left or thrown out because the rice paper thing. Anyway, so that's why it's in this episode, because people would misunderstand. So, next, black licorice. Okay, hear me out. I asked people to describe the taste of black licorice, and none of them said any of the words that I thought they were going to say. So, most of the time when I hear people talking about black licorice, I hear words like bitter and spicy and disgusting. Disgusting is one that happens quite often. But a lot of the time when people describe black licorice, they don't know how to describe it. It's not necessarily that it's bad, it's just a flavor that does not compute. Which is fine. It's like this. Does not compute. Well, I gave you the equation for that one. Let me try with black licorice. So I'm gonna just pull the wings off this bat here. I don't need the fruit wings. Little bat. Okay, no, this is just bad. It's not... This is not black licorice. You promised me black licorice. Licorice. What is this? I am all kinds of disappointed right now. Sorry, I was just... Is that it? Is that strip the... Can you guys see that? That looks like maybe there's just one small strip of licorice in this entire thing. Maybe I should have got some straight black licorice. My partner said he could find me some double salted licorice, so that'd be fun. Anyway, so that was disappointing, actually. I was hoping there'd be a lot more licorice in that. But what I can say is the notes that I pick up from the licorice, well, it's a little bit bitter, but so is matcha, so can't say that bitter's necessarily a bad thing, it's just one of the flavors. I get a lot of like minty, menthol, almost eucalyptus in the after breath, if that makes any sense. Like it's got kind of a refreshing after flavor, you know? Aftertaste, that's the word. It is also one of those earthy sweets. It's not, well, first of all, it's not very sweet. That's one of the things about black licorice, is that it's a candy, but it's not really what people consider a candy. Like when you think of candy, you think, you know, sweet, but with matcha and many other things, sometimes main profile is something earthy, like Okinawan brown sugar or soybean powder. So earthy and deep, these can be flavors that throw you if you're expecting sweet. Black licorice is not sweet. Don't even think that it's going to be. But it's not pure bitter. Like I said, I do get a little bit of bitter, but the minty, mentholy notes that I get, I really love. My partner described it as bitter spicy, and I can kind of get that. It's not like a hot spice, but that kind of almost Szechuan feeling on the tongue. Almost. Not quite. Almost. So yeah, there's more to it than just bitter or just spicy or even just earthy. It's a complex flavor that throws people with its upfront feeling. It's like you feel black licorice. Kind of like a Halls or a throat lozenge. It's got that kind of medicinal flavor, but it's not like in a bad way. Or at least that's how I feel about it. Next, and finally, we've got footsteps. We've got the lollipops. So initially I was just thinking these ones, the multicolored, this one specifically, this kind. I was gonna call out these, but this also came with Tootsie Pops and Double Bubbles. So this has bubblegum in the middle, and this has a Tootsie Pop in the middle. These are always the ones that go first, as far as lollipops go. Lollipops aren't usually that popular, which is strange to me. I think it has something to do with how long it takes to eat them. They're not just a eat the whole bag kind of thing. You gotta like sit there with it, which I personally like, because then I can eat one of these while I edit instead of a box of these. Not that I don't just eat both. Anyway, so these are the most popular ones if they're gonna take a lollipop. Anyway, these ones are the ones I'm defending. The stripy ones. The multicolored ones. The cool pull out of the package ones. So these, it's been so long since I've had one of these that just give me a minute. One of the fun things is trying to guess what flavor things are. The red one is cherry. What's the green one? Lime? I think it's lime. And I think the white part is just sugar. I don't really know what to say about this. It's a lollipop. I like these ones. I like lollipops. I guess what I'm saying is I just don't even understand the dislike for the lollipop. I've always liked lollipops. You know those big giant rainbow swirl ones? Can, have, and will sit down and eat an entire one of those to myself. The flavors don't taste chemically. You would think that they would have that like super fake chemical fruit flavor, but it tastes like actual candy. Like definitely not real fruit, but actual candy. And it always has. So lollipops don't really need a defense. I mean, they taste good, they look good. I guess what I'm really saying is that I don't understand how lollipops wound up on the loser candy list in the first place. And I didn't just arbitrarily make this stuff up. It's, okay, well, it was a little arbitrary. It's stuff that I've personally seen throughout my lifetime of the stuff that gets left at the bottom. These, every single year for as long as I have existed. Possibly before. So, I don't know, these are fun. I don't know how they got. Look at how pretty this one is. How can you tell me that that's loser candy? So, in my defense of loser candy, comment below. Is this your loser candy? Can you think of any reason why someone would just not want these? So yeah, let me know. Do you like lollipops? Do you think they just got a bad rap and everyone needs to try them again? Because I don't even know why they're on this list. I don't know. So yeah, that is all the loser candy that I have. And as a recap, I don't know why it's on this list. This isn't really loser candy, I just wanted an excuse to buy a bag. I used to get it when I was trick-or-treating as a kid. It has all of the nostalgia. But it is something that I used to throw away because I didn't understand the rice paper thing. So, it makes me so sad. Oh god, all the years that I missed out on those. Anyway. And the misunderstood ones. The Smarties. People eat them expecting M&Ms and they're just not the same. They're still good, but they're not the same. These are flatter. And the chocolate's a little bit different. I don't think it's worse. I don't think one is better than the other. I just think that they're different because they do in fact taste different. Comment below, do you want a Smarties versus M&M's video? I will do that if you want. And Smarties, Rockets, say it with me kids, Rockets. The thing that they all taste the same, they don't all taste exactly the same, there are slight differences. It being chalky when you chew it is a fact, but if you like suck on it then it melts away and it's really nice. These are one of my favorite things in the world. Molasses is a highly underrated flavor. Brown sugar, dark flavors, they're good. And I hope that if you've ever eaten one of these and gone, what is wrong with this caramel? Now you know. And I recommend you try it again, because knowing it's not caramel, knowing that it's its own thing, it's really, really tasty. And black licorice. I think the problem people have is that medicinal, slightly bitter flavor to me it tastes like spicy vapor rub, earthy mint. I challenge you, have some black licorice and describe it to me in the comments. Let me know what you guys think. And that's everything. Don't forget to subscribe and join me next week when I drive completely into Graveyard Girls Lane. I'm going to be doing treat bags. Also, yes, I'm wearing Jaws pajama bottoms. Why aren't you wearing Jaws pajama bottoms? So I haven't fully decided yet if I'm going to put some of the loser candy in these. I guess I should. I have like this massive bag. So I probably will. Put a couple of these in. Yeah? Cool. So I'm actually going to go sort that out right now so that next week I could just sit down and record. As for right now, don't forget to... First of all, thank you for watching. Honestly, if you made it this far, you are my new best friend. Possibly an old best friend. Subscribe. Don't forget to like this if you like this. And it is the end of the video. The absolute end. I have been rambling for probably like half an hour. I know what I'm like. So if you've been listening to me for this long and you haven't clicked off or huffed or already hit the dislike button, go ahead and hit the like button. Because it makes me feel happy. And it should make you feel happy for making me feel happy. Don't you want us to be happy? Just hit the like button. And leave a comment. Anything at all that you want to say. Like I said, tell me what you think black licorice tastes like. Let me know if you've had an unfortunate experience with these or any of these candies. And that's it. That's all. Happy Halloween. I'll see you next week. Thank you so much for watching. Bye! With Smarties. Smarties, okay, or I could try that completely again because it was backwards.